It'll probably be full of poo. So you're gonna have to let some of that out so you can work in there.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the most notorious episodes of television that made viewers feel ill. There will be some major spoilers to follow, so a spoiler warning is in effect.
I'm just gonna tell you right now, this is gonna be difficult to hear, Mr. Dahmer.
Number 10, Baggage, The Americans.
Yusuf, as long as you let me do what I do, it's gonna be okay. Okay? I'll be back in 10 minutes.
A widely beloved espionage thriller, The Americans follows two Soviet spies who pose as a married couple in the DC area. Naturally, their line of work brings them into some tense situations, like stuffing a corpse into a suitcase. In the notorious Baggage, Elizabeth and Philip dispose of Annalise by breaking her bones and folding her limp body into a suitcase.
I have a lot of files to move. I'm really sorry. I could use some help.
No problem. I'll be right there.
The scene caused an intense reaction in some viewers, including Olivia Armstrong of Decider, who claimed that she physically recoiled and looked away. Meanwhile, Observer called it the grossest scene of 2015, and Uproxx argued it was one of the most brutal, hard-to-watch scenes in TV history. And if that wasn't gross enough, may we suggest Philip pulling Elizabeth's tooth without anesthesia? Number 9, Open Wide, O Earth, Chernobyl.
The organs and soft tissue begin to decompose. The arteries and veins spill open like sieves.
Given the content of Chernobyl, we knew we would be watching some pretty gross stuff, but we didn't know just how shocking and effective it would actually be. Open Wide, O Earth is a depressing hour of television as multiple people involved with the meltdown die horrific and graphic deaths.
You can see him for 30 minutes, not a minute more. And you cannot touch him in any way. Do you understand?
The most eye-popping of all is that of Vasily Ignatenko, whose rotting body is briefly shown. The makeup work is extraordinary, but the sight is enough to cause a physical reaction in some viewers. Also of note is the morose ending in which the dead are buried in concrete. This scene is so evocative that it caused one Reddit user to have a mild panic attack. Number 8, Gladys, The Leftovers. For many, Gladys represents a turning point in The Leftovers. Whether for good or bad, serving as the show's 5th episode, it sees the eponymous character being graphically stoned to death by a group of assailants. The camera never cuts away from the action, and the sound design makes the scene all the more sickening. This death scene caused a very intense reaction in some viewers, including Melissa Mertz of Entertainment Weekly, who stopped watching the show altogether. She called the sequence unnecessarily aggressive and argued that its prolonged length was overkill. Many agree, stating that it's far too violent and realistic. Number 7, Tome-wan, Hannibal.
No, Nathan. No. Show me on you.
It's amazing that a show like Hannibal aired on NBC. Not only does it punch above its weight class in terms of quality, but it features some truly horrendous acts of violence that should never be shown on primetime TV. Hannibal features enough grotesque imagery to have even the most horror-hardened viewers reaching for the puke bucket.
How is that? Is that good? Do you want another piece?
As for the most revolting hour, we'll go with Season 2's Tome-wan. One Reddit user states, "I felt physically ill while watching it," and it's easy to see why. In the climax of the episode, Mason Verger cuts off pieces of his own face and feeds the strips to some dogs. But it gets even worse as he then slices off his own nose and eats it.
Taste is housed in parts of the mind that precedes pity. Pity has no place at the table.
I'm full of myself.
Number 6, Payback, The Boys.
Go on, son. Have a bump.
There's no getting around it. The Boys is here to provoke. Not only does it subvert the superhero genre with sick winks to the audience, but it features some of the most outlandish visuals ever put to the TV medium. The 3rd season opens in grand fashion with Payback, in which Termite does something we didn't think we'd ever see.
Is this okay?
Not just on TV, but like ever. We definitely can't go into detail, but it results in the grisly death of Termite's partner, who's resorted to a stringy mess of goo. While darkly comedic, the visual is certainly enough to elicit a few gags and dry heaves.
Call the bureau. You gonna let him leave? Governor's orders.
Number 5, The Day Will Come When You Won't Be, The Walking Dead.
Eeny. Meeny. Miny.
Even by The Walking Dead standards, Glenn's death is gross. Too gross for some. Fans who stuck with The Walking Dead through 6 seasons saw some gnarly stuff, but nothing like this. The camera never shies away from the violence, and the makeup work is both stomach-churning and excruciating.
I need you to know me.
The internet was immediately ablaze with condemnations, with many critics calling out the needlessly detailed and sensationalized violence. Perhaps unsurprisingly, the scene was edited to be less graphic on the original Fox UK broadcast. Furthermore, Andrew Lincoln has since criticized the scene, telling the New York Times it diminishes what we're trying to make. It's not a sort of B-movie gore fest.
Buddy, you still there? I just don't know. It seems like you're trying to speak.
Number 4. Highlight. Jackass.
Hi, sweetie. I'm going to inseminate you artificially.
While it left behind an unquestionable legacy, Jackass has faced its fair share of controversies. It features everything from the dangerous to the disgusting, and the cow scene definitely belongs in the latter category.
What do you mean let it out? You mean scrape it out?
Like lift your arm up and it'll come out. Scrape it out. Gotta be clean.
Featured in the 2nd episode of Season 2, this bit sees Johnny Knoxville getting up close and personal with a cow and putting his hand where the sun don't shine. The entire sequence is quite disturbing, especially when Knoxville withdraws his brown glove and slaps Jeff Tremaine in the face. While this is an everyday job for those in the field, it still makes for nasty TV. Number 3. Bad Meat. Dahmer. Monster, the Jeffrey Dahmer story.
So what did y'all find in me? Huh? What did you find in me?
While an enormous success for Netflix, Dahmer drew criticism from many viewers both for its on-screen violence and its insensitive depiction of real murders. The show opens in media res, with Dahmer already living in his infamous Milwaukee apartment. Dahmer is arrested after failing to kill Tracy Edwards, and the cops make a number of startling discoveries inside his home.
Goddamn. These are real. Grab them.
This includes a human head in the fridge, bags of various organs, and a vat filled with dissolving body parts. The visuals are unthinkably horrendous, and they're made even worse by the fact that this actually happened. Before Monster, we'd never seen Dahmer's crimes depicted in such vivid and realistic detail.
The entire building's a crime scene. There's toxic chemicals in here that could be a hazard.
Wait. How many did you find?
Number 2. A Fair World. Squid Game.
돌팔이 양반 서둘러. 배달 시간 놓쳐서 배 떠나면 다 헛수고.
Just when you thought Squid Game couldn't get any gorier, they introduced this wild side plot that certainly isn't for viewing by the faint of heart. When players in the game are eliminated, their bodies are wrapped up in boxes and taken away by the guards.
다 적용용 총을 맞은 놈들이라. 가뜩이나 건질 별로 없었어.
In episode 5 of the series, it's revealed that a rebellious group of these guards have been utilizing Yu Sung-ju, one of the contestants that happens to be a doctor, to harvest the organs of the fallen players. These scenes do not shy away from showing the procedure. We're getting lightheaded just thinking about it.
정신이 없어서. 정신이 없어? 네 손으로 시체까지 깨끗이 치워놓고선.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. The Heirs of the Dragon. House of the Dragon.
What's happening? The infant is in breach, Your Grace. All attempts to turn the babe have failed.
The anticipated prequel of Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon, followed in its predecessor's footsteps in regards to difficult visuals. During the filming of A Golden Crown, Emilia Clarke nearly vomited while eating the prop heart.
She has to eat the whole heart. Hope that wasn't my horse.
She's doing well.
Well, it was the fans' turn to puke when it came to Heirs of the Dragon. The pilot features an extraordinarily graphic birth scene in which Balin is cut from Queen Amma. Social media was ablaze with discussion and debate regarding the scene's merits, and countless articles were published by mainstream outlets. Some praised the scene's realism and themes, while others called it gratuitous and sickening. One thing is for sure, it definitely doesn't sugarcoat the birth process.
You can save the child.
We must either act now or leave it with the gods.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.